Welcome back, everybody. If you watched the video I made on Geek Out bags, there we go. If you watched the video I made on Geek Out bags, you'll see that the Geek Out bag I did was my drop shot bag, and what I like to pack for drop shotting, whether it be in the boat or out floating around in my tube in a pond or pit, river, whatever, doesn't matter. Anyway, today we're gonna go over the rod that I like to run my drop shots on. So, pretty long stick to get in frame, but let's get started. So it is a 6.5 foot medium extra fast. That is the rod I like to run. That's the action power I like to run for my drop shot rods. Now if I'm drop shotting quite a bit deeper, let's say over, 30 foot of water over a rock pile, I will run a 7 foot medium fast for my drop shots. Now typically I'm drop shotting in anywhere from just a few feet of water, and when I do drop shot for walleyes, about 18 to 20 feet of water. But rods can get expensive. Everybody knows that. You can go to your Walmart, Canadian Tire, Cabela's, Bass Pro, whatever. You can pick up a cheap rod that does everything, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to get into doing technique specific type fishing, and you're like, man, I really want to get a nice drop shot rod or crankbait rod or flipping rod or whatever the case is, you'll notice once you start looking and you start seeing the prices of things is that it's not cheap to get into. And there's nothing wrong with not wanting to spend hundreds of dollars on a rod. Now, this is what I run. I have expensive rods, I have cheap rods. This is the new version. Some of you might remember the original Berkley Lightning rods. This is the updated version of the Berkley Lightning rod. They're $50. $50. It's a one piece, even. Now a lot of people don't like one pieces because, one piece doesn't fit in a tiny little car very well if you're fishing a 7.5 foot rod. I get that. Nothing wrong with two piece. You do lose a little bit of sensitivity, but you gotta do what you gotta do. But $50 for this sucker. It's got a nice reel seat. It is up locking with a dual locking nuts. Love it. Nice rubberized cork handle. Blank is exposed through the reel seat a little bit. The reel, you don't have to spend a ton of money on a reel. Now, being that I have a background in fly fishing, the reel is just a line holder. As long as it's got a smooth drag, doesn't matter how much force it exerts in pounds, as long as it's a smooth drag, and if you have to get to the reel and start reeling fish on, as long as it's smooth and isn't choppy, it has good tension, that's all that matters. Now, conventional spin fishing, right here, not quite the same, but you can go and spend $400 on Shimano reels, Quantums, whatever, it doesn't matter. This is a 1.3 fishing Source K in the 3000 series size. For those of you who don't know, 500, smaller number, smaller reel. Bigger number, bigger reel. The reel is $30. That's it, right there. 80 bucks. By the time you put line on it, you're looking at less than 100 bucks. I love it. A lot of people won't fish a cheap rod, especially going technique specific, because, oh, well, there's so many contributing reasons, but I don't care because I feel everything I need to feel with it. If you're blaming your equipment all the time, you should maybe learn a little bit more about how to do things and how to pick up on them. But if you're like, hey, I need to have a few rods because I want to do a couple of really different things, you can't go wrong with a Berkley Lightning rod. Now, this particular model, 6.5 foot, one piece, and I said earlier it's a medium. This is my medium light. You can get them anywhere. I highly recommend it. It is a great drop shot rod. This one happens to be the one I use the most out of all my rods for drop shotting. I pack it on my tube regardless of what I'm going to fish for. If I'm going on my float tube, this rod is coming with me. Even if I plan on just fly fishing for the day, this sucker is in the rod holder. It is super smooth. It doesn't have any dead spots. You have feeling all the way through the blank. I highly recommend it. If you want to check it out, they're on Amazon, they're on Cabela's. Not sure about Bass Pro. You can go right to Berkley's website even. They are cheap. Berkley has a lot of good options. Berkley is a big name in fishing, and I highly recommend running this setup. If you want to save money on your equipment and still have good, reliable, dependable equipment, and maybe spend a little more money on baits, or maybe you want to buy a float tube or a kayak or whatever the case is, this is the route for you. You can't go wrong for the money. You'll still catch a ton of fish, and you're doing technique specific things with a technique specific rod, and you don't need to have a pile of them. You can still do a ton of things with a drop shot rod. So, hope you enjoyed, hope this helps. Definitely check out all the other videos we have. Check out the Geek Out Bag video over there, some of our other videos over here. Till next time, stay avid.